The City of Perris was incorporated on May 26, 1911. In the 100-plus years since that day, there have been thousands of families who have made their way in the City of Perris. In this series, we will explore some of those amazing families and learn how their stories still affect the lives of the city's residents to this very day. In this episode, we explore the story of the Coudures family and find out how their contributions to the city made a lasting impact on the Perris Valley.
It all began in the late 1800s in the Basque region of France, where my grandfather, Jean-Marie Coudures, was born. He later emigrated to Beaumont, California in 1910 at the age of 21, where he worked as a contract shepherd, and later he got a job on a sheep ranch in Alessandro, which later was called West March Air Force Base, adjacent to the National Cemetery. While he was working on this ranch in Alessandro, he met his future wife, my grandmother, who also immigrated from France in 1905. And she was working on the ranch as a cook for all the hired hands. And the story goes that my grandfather liked to help the pretty girl with the dishes in the evening. And as a result, my grandparents, John and Marie Coudures, got married a couple years later in 1915. As a young couple, they started their farming on some leased land on the Hendricks Estate in Alessandro. And they were successful enough that after a few years in 1922, they were able to buy their first 40-acre ranch on Orange Street in Perris Valley. And then as the years progressed, in 1928, they eventually moved the ranch to the present headquarters on Perris Boulevard and Morgan Street. The family liked to purchase land around the home place, and as a result, they farmed approximately 15,000 acres, owning about 5,000 of them. So they had become a major player in the Perris Valley farming community at that time. Well, in 1932, the Metropolitan Water District decided to build an aqueduct to divert water from the Colorado River. And to combat this, my grandfather, as well as some of the other area farmers, formed the San Jacinto Water Conservation District and sued to stop the tapping of the underground water supplies. And eventually this led to the Eastern Municipal Water District, which supplies most of our water around the valley today. And without my grandfather's efforts to preserve the water rights, much of the water that's used daily could have been diverted away. The family farmed much of the land that Lake Perris exists on today, and in 1973 it was dedicated as a Lake Perris Recreation District, and we attended the ceremony where Governor Ronald Reagan came on his helicopter and blew dust all over everyone. And then we watched him pour the bottle of water that was the first water that started Lake Perris. The Coudures family was known for its honesty, its ambition, its hard work, and they were always happy and willing to serve and help their fellow man. And I'm very proud of my grandparents for the legacy that they left, and I'm thankful for the contributions that the family has been able to make for the citizens of Perris and Perris Valley.